Martinez is jumping, Harry Maguire is behind as the spear man, and the two wing backs are looking after Liverpool's wide play. So again, if you're going to press high, those centre backs have to jump. Look at Martinez even now, he's looking to jump, Okay, this is a brilliant pass from Trent Alexander that takes out that front five. There's a bit of space for Curtis Jones, so straight away now the role changes. So instead of pressing high, you've now got to get back in position like they weren't doing against Newcastle, where you're in your back five. Fernandes comes to the side of the central midfield player. Ahmad does the same, and that actually allows Ugarte to go and press the ball, and De Ligt is ready to jump. So again, straight away on that clip, we can see them pressing high, and then when they get pushed back, it's different. Now the problems they cause Liverpool with the ball in terms of controlling the game. Now, this front three pinned that Liverpool back four, but especially Bruno Fernandes, who was man of the match, give Trent Alexander-Arnold a real problem, because he didn't want to leave him, but he'd never get to Dalot. So Dalot, again, who was outstanding in the game, and again, this is the system working and causing Liverpool a problem. So he's got all the time in the world. Again, look, the front three pinning this whole Liverpool back four. There, you see them. So they're outnumbered here, Liverpool, because Liverpool have got an extra man here, but they haven't here. So we now run it on, and this again is the 3-4-3 system getting the better of the Liverpool 4-2-3-1 system. So the ball comes to De Ligt on this side. Mo Salah is Liverpool's right winger. Gakpo is Liverpool's left winger.
This position really surprises me. Sorry, Jamie. Gakpo's position here really surprises me. How deep he is, because this is not Gakpo's man. That's Robertson's man. This is Gakpo's man. To get pressure on at Anfield, the winger has to jump the wide centre half. And to get the crowd going, the crowd didn't even get involved because they couldn't get any pressure on the ball. So Liverpool, for me, have to get over to the side of the ball a lot faster, and Robertson needs to get onto their wing back.
I think you're absolutely spot on. The idea would have been for Gakpo, as Anthony Gordon did the other night, go and press this one, and Andy Robertson would be jumping here. But Andy Robertson is pinned back with Ahmad. Again, the system working. Now, when you talk about systems, who's playing a back five now? That's Liverpool. Liverpool are in the back five because Gakpo is having to come back with Mazraoui on this side. And again, it's a system getting the better of another system. Comes into Maguire. Now he goes long. Forces him long. And Manchester United pick the second ball up. Nice little bit of football that they showed at times, Manchester United. But what was good about this for Man United, it wasn't so much they were creating lots of chances, but they took the sting out of Liverpool. Now, as Maguire's about to switch that ball, look at this position again of Fernandes. In between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Gravenberch. 18 yards to Dalot, he can't get there in time. Again, this is this system working, pinning this Liverpool back four back so they can't get out to the wing back. And then it comes back out again. Now, the thing what I would say about this system, a lot of these clips that were shown, a lot of the time Manchester United go back with the ball. That is maybe the nature of this system a little bit. Maybe one of the things against it. But, again, Trent Alexander-Arnold caught in between Fernandes and the wide wing-back and Dalot. And this is what the manager wants Amorim from his number 10s, to make penetrating runs in here. Bruno Fernandes gets the wrong side of Gravenberch, but it's a poor pass. But when you're looking at patterns of play here and what he wants from players in certain positions, so Liverpool could not get out to the wing back. So this is this system working brilliantly. Now we're going to go to the goal. Now Manchester United switch it to De Ligt. He's now, look at this triangle here of the three players. So you've got your right-sided centre-back, your number 10 and your wing-back. Gakpo caught in between, Andy Robertson caught in between as well. Doesn't know whether to go there or doesn't know whether to go and press the number 10. As we know, as we highlighted last week, Mazraoui on that side, he's not great going forward in terms of trying to beat a man.
At least he's high.
So he comes back.
At least he's high.
Exactly.
On the other side.
Now it comes in to Maguire again. We just stop it again. This position here, Bruno Fernandes here. In between Gravenberch and Trent Alexander-Arnold again. This is what's something that Arne Slot mentioned after the game, the problems Trent had. We spoke about him after the game, but this was a huge problem tactically for him in that position. So it was far too easy to get the ball to Manchester United's wing-back on this side. As it comes across, we just see Mazraoui. We know he's not great going 1v1. We said that about him last week, but we know he fancied it right from the start of the game. He thought he could go past Trent Alexander-Arnold. We saw it numerous times in the game. So they get across and they do really well. But something, we go back to the first clip. Look at this, Fernandes on the front foot, aggressive. He wasn't like that against Newcastle, but he was like that from minute 1 against Liverpool. This is shocking from Liverpool defensively, really poor. But you must say, from Manchester United's point of view. That was brilliant from Fernandes, brilliant from Martinez. And when you play a back three and one of your defenders steps in, he can stay there because he's got the luxury of the other two centre-backs behind him.
As usual under Amorim, Man United started the game in a 3-4-2-1, with the biggest differences from their game against Newcastle being the introduction of Mainoo and Ugarte as the midfielders, and Fernandes returning from his suspension. From goal kicks, Onana almost always went long, and Man United did cope quite well with the second ball, either flicking it forward in behind to chase, or regaining possession and starting their attacks from a slightly more advanced position, an area of the pitch where in previous games they would struggle to break the first press from the opposition, and would often find themselves getting trapped on the flank, as they would instantly move possession out wide into the wingbacks that had little support. But against Liverpool, they were much more comfortable in possession. They would look to keep the ball in a central position for longer periods of play, and would force Liverpool's 4-2-4 press to push forward and close them down. And rather than going out wide instantly, players like Maguire and Martinez would look for these central passes to break the first press. We'll take a look at Liverpool in more detail later on, but one key trait of their press is that it's the wingers that push forward to close off the centre-backs, usually forcing play centrally where they have more numbers to regain possession. But if you can catch them out of time, it means the wing-backs can have space to receive the ball, either indirectly or with a quick pass out wide. And because of the positioning of Fernandes and Diallo, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold had a hard time gaining ground and closing off these passes. Here's an example of this structure, with Salah rushing to close down Martinez, who finds Dalot in acres of space to receive the ball, as Trent can't push forward because of Fernandes. While in this clip, Maguire takes advantage of the press coming from the flank to play an excellent ball forward into Fernandes, who plays a one-time pass into Mazraoui overlapping. The way the wingbacks were positioned was much more effective in this game for Man United. They were in a slightly deeper position, meaning it was easier to circulate possession, and when they were closed down, it opened up a space on the flank for United to attack. A great chance actually came when Dalot and Fernandes inverted their roles, with Fernandes playing an excellent ball forward into Dalot, taking advantage of Trent not following his movement effectively, but couldn't quite get the delivery right for Diallo. This more confident type of possession for Man United did lead to more chances than we have seen in previous matches. They exploited Liverpool's high line more consistently with balls in behind for Højlund, and would look for long switches in play to drag Liverpool's defensive line apart, subsequently finding players attacking the half spaces more often. The opening goal from Martinez at the start of the second half came after they were able to regain possession high up the pitch with a well-executed counterpress, before Fernandes played an excellent ball into the unmarked Martinez, who finished the move brilliantly. Now, Liverpool's equaliser came shortly after from a pretty similar scenario, with Liverpool regaining possession high up the pitch. But the way they played in possession was completely different to Man United. The only change for Liverpool after their 5-0 win against West Ham was the reintroduction of Konate as centre-back. And the way they looked to build their attacks was pretty consistent with how they've played all season. While Gravenberch and McAllister start as the holding midfielders, they take it in turns acting as the single pivot, usually with McAllister gaining ground further up the pitch, but he was much more active as the pivot in this game against Man United. While the players on the flanks are usually pretty positional in nature, Arne Slot wants as much rotation as possible in the centre of the pitch, and Liverpool don't play with a recognisable centre forward, meaning as Diaz will rotate, either Jones, McAllister or Gakpo can also end up playing down the middle, and it makes it very difficult for the opposition to understand which spaces they need to cover. At the start of this game, Man United were defending in a deep position, and would force Liverpool to build their attacks out wide. However, Dalot was doing an excellent job at keeping Salah at bay for the vast majority of the time, and so Liverpool needed to find a way through the middle. And they did that by rotating and being more aggressive in possession, with more and more players joining the attack. By moving possession out wide, it would drag Ugarte and Mainoo over to that flank, before rotating back and having players like Gravenberch pushing forward to break Man United's front line. This central progression led to some decent opportunities in the first half. But the true beauty of this system can be seen in how they exploit space in behind the defensive line. Because Man United want to close off any player in the centre, it means they will often follow their movement if they drop to receive the ball. And Liverpool would take advantage of this by having Jones and Diaz drag the defenders apart, opening up a space for players like McAllister to push forward. We can see an excellent example of this here. As Liverpool build their attack out wide, Jones moves closer to Salah, while Diaz moves closer to the second post, opening up a huge gap for McAllister to run into and force a save from Onana. A similar example can be seen in this clip here, as Martinez is dragged out of position following Jones. Trent rotates forward and is ready to exploit the gap that was left at the back, before an excellent defensive interception from Maguire. These opportunities came when the game was still tied at 0-0, but after both teams got on the score sheet, the game really started to open up. And there's a few reasons why the second half was so open. Firstly, if you're a betting man, this was the game for you, with 14 corners and 23 free kicks, many of which were high in the opposition's half. This left lots of opportunities for the defending team to counter-attack quickly, leading to the pitch getting stretched consistently, and minutes of end-to-end football for both teams. Secondly, and more crucially, both managers made pretty offensive substitutions in the late stages of the game. Slot replaced Diaz and Jones for Núñez and Jota looking for the winner, while Mainoo was replaced by Garnacho when Man United were looking for an equaliser. This resulted in both teams having less cover in midfield, and every time there was a change in possession, the counter-press was less effective, meaning it was easier for the team in possession to gain ground quickly. Towards the end of the game, both teams had some huge chances to take home all 3 points, but the biggest arguably fell to Maguire right at the end of the match. But a poor pass from Xerxes made it a much harder shot for Maguire to finish effectively, as it bounced just before he had to take his shot. Overall, Man United did benefit from great individual performances from players like Ugarte, Fernandes and Maguire, but did seem a little bit rash at times, with players like De Ligt seeming a bit too eager to lunge in for tackles and getting caught out of time for Gakpo's goal. On the other hand, Liverpool's quality is clearly evident, but they did struggle at times in this match. Salah looked pretty dangerous when the game opened up, but Dalot did a good job at keeping him quiet for the vast majority of the game. But the headlines are understandably focusing on a really poor defensive performance from Trent Alexander-Arnold, getting caught in behind countless times and making people wonder if all this news of transfers is getting to his head and will affect his performances going forward.
There's been another tweet tonight you might have seen, and it came from someone who's involved in these Carabao Cup semi-finals. So earlier on, Jamie was responding to a question posed by Sky Sports News about Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk, and Jamie said, I think the other two could take a leaf out of Virgil's book. And that was really you reacting to that cryptic Instagram post from Mo Salah, which I think grabs a lot of people's attention tonight. It's obviously the 3 players who are out of contract, and the line from Mo Salah in response on the tweet tonight was, "I'm starting to wonder if you're obsessed with me."
Yes, I mean, I have got a Mo Salah obsession. I don't think it's the type of obsession that he thinks it is. It's more of a footballing obsession and watching him in a red shirt. But I mean, I come in, I get asked a question, I answer as diplomatically as I possibly can. I think I'm not going to criticise Mo Salah or Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm going to rave about how Virgil van Dijk handled it, and I get myself in all kinds of trouble again.
Let me finish by asking you this. You're 33.
Yes.
Do you think now that the Premier League players can go on for longer than we've seen historically?
Yeah, I just think footballers in general can. If you look at Virgil, what's Virgil, 32? He's cruising. I think he can do that 2, 3 more, 4 more years easy. Mo Salah, the shape he's in for his age. I just feel like the footballers over the last 10, 15 years have looked after themselves a lot more than maybe the sports science has helped, the diet, the way they live off the pitch. And I just feel like people are keeping themselves in serious condition. It's good. Thiago Silva, for example, was 39 playing in the Premier League. So yeah, I feel like it's going to keep on going like that.
Can I just say though on the Mo Salah tweet there, that does give me a little bit more confidence that he's he's building bridges, he's doing the winky emoji, he's trying to get on my good side, isn't he?
There's another headline. And your wish is to keep playing as long as possible?
Of course, yeah. I was going to say Trent. I know Virgin Mo are out of contract, but so am I. But that's not really making the same headlines for some reason. So I don't know why.
It should be, given the quality of some of those goals we saw with that left foot, Tom.
Yeah.